Okay, the symbol that we know as per cent comes from Latin per centum for 100. Therefore, 75% means 75 out of 100, or 75 per cent. So we write percentages as fractions by changing that percent sign to create a fraction, as I just did there, with a denominator of 100. So that way, whatever that top number is out of 100. So, for example, this is 100% of a pizza. So 100 is the same as one whole. If I want to start dividing it, here we go, I'm going to eat 1/4 of this pizza. So 1/4, we know how to express that. If we make that denominator into 100 and multiply that by 25, do the same thing to the top number. Now our top number is 25 with a denominator of 100. We have 25%. Therefore, 1/4 of this delicious pizza is the same as 25% out of 100. So if we want to convert a fraction to a percentage, we multiply by 100. So if we had 3/8, let's say we're going to divide that pizza into eighths now. Do that. And I'll have 1, 2, 3/8 of this pizza. That's 3 out of 8 possible slices. Remember, there's 8 in the entire pizza, so that's the whole pizza. Well, I'm going to work out what that fraction is. So 8 times 100 is really like saying 8 times 100 over 1. That's exactly the same thing. So can we do any canceling out? Yes, we can. So that's divisible by 4, leaving us 2. That's divisible by 4, leaving us 25, which equals 75 over 2, which gives us, I'll show you over here, it's a little clearer, 37.5, but don't forget that now because we multiplied by 100, it's 37.5%. So now let's have a little bit of a look here. It's really good to know some common percentages. Let me just clear up the space. So we could go through and work out what each of these is, but using my whole 100% pizza, if I divide that into 2 and I eat 1/2 of that pizza, you might be able to see there that that is 50%, which is an equivalent fraction to 1 over 2, or 50 over 100. If I were to have 1/4 of that, as I said before, it's 25%. And if I were going to have 3/4, that would work out to 75%, or 75 over 100. The thirds are kind of fun because you have to remember it's not a whole number. It's got a little mixed number fraction in there. 33⅓% of this pizza would be nice to eat. Or for 2/3, 66 2/3%. Gosh, that's sloppy. It's neater in your book, is what we're looking at now. 1 out of 5. See, 5 times 20 gives me 100, so it must be 20%. And then 1/8, it's actually 1/2 of 1/4, so that's 12.5, or 12.5%. So those percentages are really, really handy. They're really good to know. So that's the basic idea. Remember, percent means out of 100. So 75 out of 100 is 75%. And in the next video, we'll do some examples.